Good afternoon to you and welcome to Newsbeat Live from our studio here at Rich in Accra. This is the Kuya Bohima studio. I am Bright. I'm in. We are live on ESTV channel 277. Coming up in the next 60 minutes. Chairman of the Joint Committee on Interior and Defense in Parliament, Kennedy Agyapong, rates security in Ghana 9 out of 10. We will hear from a security analyst if this is a true reflection. Ghana National Fire Service plays the blame game as it fingers the Ghana Water Company Limited for not providing them with water on time to douse the Makula Market fire. Day 2 of the hearing by Interior Ministers Committee probing the Ejura killing gets underway. We will get updates from the inquiry. In business, farmers in Ahafo and Bono regions lament over inadequate storage facilities for crops, lack of veterinary staff and labs, delay in supply of fertilizers among challenges facing sector as the Agric Minister rounds up his tour in the 3 new regions. And on the national front, Haiti President Jovenel Moise is reported killed in the south last night by unknown gunmen. Thanks for joining us. First in the news, Member of Parliament for Assin Central and Chairman of the Joint Committee on Interior and Defense, Kennedy Agyapong, has rated Ghana's security 9 out of 10, saying Ghana is secure. He added that the NDC has no legitimacy to embark on demonstration amidst insecurity in the country. He also stated that Ghana is safe and people can actually live here in peace. He was speaking to Paul Adomachiri on Metro TV's Good Evening Ghana.
Do you think there's a state of insecurity in Ghana?
Not at all. Not at all.
Really? So if you are marking Ghana's insecurity over 10?
I'll give it 9.
9 over 10 for security? For
security.
Really?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you sit here.
A giraffe shooting, somebody has been beheaded in some place. War incident, all happening in the matter of 3 weeks.
Let me tell you, those who talk of security, just July 4th celebration in America, 152 people died.
I saw that on the media.
Good. What happened yesterday or 2 days ago in Nigeria?
Nigeria?
Yeah, about 140 kids kidnapped. Is that what we are seeing here?
So you're doing a comparative analysis. That's what you're doing, really.
Yeah, you have to. If you don't do that, the way they're talking about insecurity, we'll all believe in it.
What about comparing us to ourselves yesterday and today? Would you still say that we have better security?
You see, I'm surprised NDC got nerves to go on demonstration talking about security. They got nerves. But, you know, we have to tolerate them because it's politics. Have they forgotten about themselves? NDC? I want every Ghanaian with that political tag to say that there is insecurity in our service. But not NDC. The atrocities committed by these people in this country, they got nerves.
NDC? Are you talking PNDC?
Both. NDC, PNDC, NDC. Both. And I was surprised at Totobi Kwachi commenting of security. Totobi Kwachi talking about security.
What has he done? He was Minister of National Security.
Good. And so what did he do?
Tell us, what did he do?
In his time. Crimes that were committed.
Yeah, but nobody prosecuted him. Nobody ever prosecuted him for anything.
Yeah, because even him, you know, when they, I don't know what.
I mean, we don't know that whether Totobi Kwachi committed crimes.
I'm saying he was in charge.
Yes, he was
security.
Minister of National Security.
Right, and what happened during his term?
We don't know. Did he commit any crime?
Are you saying that Kandapar has committed any crime?
No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, so if you ask that question...
But they didn't say that. NDC people didn't say that.
I'm saying that they are talking of insecurity in this country. And I'm referring to Totobi Kwachi talking about insecurity in this country.
You mean he has no legitimacy to speak
at all?
Kennedy Ejapon is a member of parliament for Asin Central and chairman of the Joint Committee on Interior and Defense. We're also trying to speak to Adib Sani, who is a security analyst, for him to tell us what he makes of statement made by the chairman of the Joint Committee in Parliament, Kennedy Ejapon. But away from there, let's focus on other stories, as the Ghana National Fire Service in a presser yesterday outlined the reasons why the dozen of Makola Market fire delayed. Here is what the service had to say in their statement. And so the first one says lack of flow of water in hydrants around Central Business District, and had to commute to Kwame Nkrumah Circle and surrounding communities for water. The second one says the Electricity Company of Ghana had to cut off power before firefighting commenced. The third one says lack of access to the seat of the fire. These are three reasons given by the Ghana National Fire Service. The other three goes on to say that so the other three also goes on to say that road traffic difficulties is one, uncooperative attitude from the public is two, and the sixth one is that the combustible nature of the content in the building is also the sixth reason why it was difficult for the Ghana National Fire Service to actually be able to douse the fire on time. And also, the Ghana National Fire Service is blaming the Ghana Water Company Limited for the extent of damage recorded at the Makola Market in Accra after fire gutted a three-story building filled with wigs and other cosmetic products, according to the service. Although there is an existing arrangement for the Ghana Water Company Limited to supply water in cases of emergency, the latter failed to do so even after several calls to them. The fire service spent over 5 hours battling the flames that gutted the building. And so we are going to be speaking to I'm told that the head of public relations for the Ghana National Fire Service, DO2 Ellis Robinson Oko, has joined us on phone to tell us more on this. Good afternoon, sir, and welcome. All right, so you have outlined 6 reasons why your outfit couldn't douse the Makola Market fire on time. You mentioned the inability of the Ghana Water Company Limited to supply you with water as a reason. But the Ghana Water Company Limited also says it does not supply water. Via tanks. It does not do water tank services. What do you make of this?
No, we are not talking about water tank services. We are talking about private people that we engage them during emergencies like what happened in Makola, for them to assist in that respect.
And that wasn't done?
That was not done. What we said about water company was that we had to commute from the Makola area to Kwame Nkrumah Circle before we can have water to do the firefighting.
But also in a response from the Ghana Water Company Limited, it's saying that the PRO says the Ghana Water Company Limited does not do water tank services. That's the reason why they weren't there as well.
Yeah, so the water tank service is meant for private people that we engage them in emergency situations like this, but they failed to attend to us.
But when a call came from your end to the Ghana Water Company Limited asking them to for help, what was the response? What do you get from them?
Normally, we don't call them to ask for help. What we do is that when the area that we go is not flowing, we move to an area where we can have water. And we observed that Circle was the immediate point where we could get water.
But did you make any call to the Ghana Water Company Limited?
No, please.
Not even around 9:14?
No, we didn't make any call to them. But then we had water from Circle.
All right, so going forward, what are the strategies your outfit want to adopt to ensure that we don't have such incidents happening again?
Yeah, since these situations continue to occur, we intend to engage the district assemblies to have specialized boreholes for firefighting. And we have even started in this respect. And then those areas that are outside Accra, we encourage that they have open source of water like rivers and lakes and others, so we can have enough water to do firefighting.
You also mentioned in among your 6 pointers reasons why it was difficult for your outfit to douse the fire that happened at the Mokola market, that the public were not cooperating. What advice will you give to the general public on this?
We are the only institution that is mandated to fight fires in this country. Sometimes we use a strategic approach on the fire scene, and you see people hooting at us. When you are fighting a fire, and the fire has already engulfed a particular structure, the standard operational procedure is for you to tackle the adjoining structures. And that is exactly what we did over there. But then, people who don't understand why we were throwing water to the adjoining structures were hooting at us. And it's very, very bad on the side of the public. I want to encourage the public to approach us and ask us questions rather than hooting at us or making mockery of us in the public place.
All right, so thank you for your time with us here on this. We are grateful. So, DO2 Ellis Robinson Oko is the head of public relations for the Ghana National Fire Service. Away from that, the national chairman of the ruling New Patriotic Party NPP, Freddie Blay, has noted that the Volta region remains an important region for the NPP and will do everything possible to make the party attractive in the region. He made the remarks when he cut the sword for the construction of a regional office complex for the party in the Volta regional capital, Ho.
The New Patriotic Party has run its Volta regional office from a rented apartment over the years. This is about to change due to the visionary leadership of the 10th regional chairman, Makafu Iwanya, as some acres of lands have been secured for the construction of the party's own office complex in the region. Speaking at the sword cutting ceremony in Ho, the national chairman of the party, Freddie Blay, emphasized that the region remains a strategic one for the party. He lauded the efforts of the regional executives and called on the party faithfuls to work hard in the region.
The party that wins has the responsibility to deliver on its mandate. The NPP under the leadership of Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Bawumia team is committed to delivering this sacred mandate. Parties also who did not win government must demonstrate political maturity and desist from undermining the political process through agitation and incessant propaganda. Today we are witnesses to the suspect of political parties, some political parties abandoning their own political manifestos and struggling to own fixed Ghana agitating.
The Volta regional chairman of the party, Kofi Mwanya, outlined the purpose for the office and also the benefit the party will be getting from the office. He also touched on some internal issues that is affecting the party in the region that need urgent attention.
My message to my colleagues in the other party is that the better way to face Ghana is not to shout from the rooftop and on the social media. You face Ghana by developing proper policies that win the mandate of the people in elections and being allowed the space to deliver on the mandate.
The national organizer of the NPP, Henry Nana Boakye, also commended the region for its performance in the 2020 general elections. The 1.6 million Ghana city project is expected to be completed in 6 months. The occasion was graced by some prominent persons from various departments of the NPP across the nation.
And it is day 2 of the Committee of Inquiry sitting on the probe into the Ejura killing. My colleague Abdul Basis Suleiman, who is our Ashanti regional correspondent, is there. We'll join us later for update on that. But away from that for now, the wives of the president and the vice president will now receive salaries. This decision was arrived on after the government adopted a recommendation by a Emolument Committee to pay salaries to the spouses of the president and the second gentleman, which is a slight veer of the normal norm, where the spouses were entitled to allowances. According to the Information Minister, the new arrangement only makes the payment of the spouses formal, since former first ladies were already being paid since the Kufuor administration. There is more in the full report.
Who put the wife of the president in Article 71 office holders? Who put the wife of the president there? Is that in the Constitution?
It was recommended and accepted.
Is that how you amend the Constitution? Is that how you amend the Constitution? Because effectively, the Constitution has been amended.
No, not really.
The wife of the president, is she an Article 71 office holder? The wife of the vice president, is she an Article 71 office holder? So effectively, you have amended the Constitution through an illegality, clear illegality. This is the problem. If you are sticking to the Constitution, let's stick to the Constitution. In any case, what the Constitution says is not that every 4 years the president must by all means set up this committee. The Constitution doesn't say that. The Constitution doesn't say that every 4 years the president must set up this committee, which must by all means increase the salaries of Article 71 office holders. The Constitution does not say that the wife of the president is an Article 71 office holder, and so on. So some of these things are in clear violation of the provisions of the 1992 Constitution. And for me, bottom line, is so unfair to the working people of this country.
President Kufuor instituted this, but because it wasn't formalized or institutionalized, now it's going to be institutionalized or formalized so that.
But it's being done wrongly.
No, Randy, but that point, how many times do you want to make that point?
Yeah.
How many times do you want to make it? I agree with you that you must come by. Yes.
Okay. If
you want,
but I said that.
If you want them to come under one,
maybe the reason
under 71.
The reason of President Kufuor, let's formalize it, right? Fine. But the formalization has issues.
Yes.
You understand? And the issue is that the Article 108 says, look, you know what to do. Come by bill or come by motion. You understand? So if that is what is required of him, I don't think as a lawyer you have any issues with that. Because if it brings to Parliament, it will have a bipartisan support.
That is my problem.
That
is my problem.
Because
you people fight over all kinds of things, which
these
affect
spouses,
the ordinary
they cut
citizen.
across. You have some on the left, you have some on the right. You understand? So you're not going to do it to the detriment of any of them. So we can get a bipartisan when we pass it through.
No problem.
So yes, the president.
And that was the managing editor of the Inside newspaper, Kwesi Pratt Jr., describing parliamentary action to pay presidential spouses as an affront to the 1992 Constitution, and also Member of Parliament for Subin constituency, Eugene Boakye Entry, saying that Parliament will not take decisions just to burden the taxpayer without any good decision on there. Now, away from that, Parliament has approved a $200 million financing agreement between the government of Ghana and the International Development Association as additional financing for the Ghana COVID-19 Emergency Preparedness and Response Project. But this didn't come without controversy, as Minority Leader Haruna Iddrisu raised questions on why only 6 regions were going to benefit from the intervention, which is aimed at strengthening the country's fight against the COVID-19 pandemic.
I repeat it here for the record that a vaccine would cost $10.55. $10.55. This was information communicated to the committee. It is captured indeed under paragraph 6.4 of the budget. What I remember the committee wanted to know was that at 10.55 per vaccine, the 200 million should get for us more than the 7.6 million that the facility we were told was going to vaccinate. And it was on that even the ministry said they would revert to us with figures to indicate that. But I think the Minister for Health was very clear that the vaccine will be $10.55 US.
Our committees must do diligent work. Which 6 regions have been left out? We need to know which 6 regions have been left out. And the 6 regions, Mr. Speaker, must necessarily be included as beneficiary regions for this fund. So I'm giving you conditional support. You cannot discriminate against 6 regions on a pandemic which is national in character and a pandemic which third variant may be national in this exercise. So why are you concentrating on 10 when you know Ghana is 16 regions? So, Mr. Speaker, when you go further, again, Mr. Speaker, the same page, 21 treatment centers are equipped to increase intensive care units, bed capacity from 44 to 129 in 10 regions. So it means tomorrow, if COVID strikes in the other 6 regions, they have no access to bed capacity, they have no access to intensive care unit, they are also deserving and they are Ghanaians. So I need a firm assurance that these 6 other regions will be included as beneficiaries as part of this 10 region.
Away from Parliament, but still staying on matters of health, as the Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu II has commended management of the National Ambulance Service for working seriously to improve on the fortunes of the organization. He said the provision of emergency care is an essential part of the country's integrated healthcare delivery, which requires additional effort to ensure timely and effective delivery. There is more in the following report filed by our Ashanti regional correspondent Abdul Basir Suleiman. Read to you.
As part of a nationwide tour of ambulance stations across the country, the monitoring team of the National Ambulance Service, led by its Chief Executive Officer, Professor Ahmed Nuhu Zakaria, was at the Menchia Palace to inform Asantehene of their duty tour of the Ashanti region. The Ashanti region has the largest number of ambulance stations in the country and also houses the training school of the National Ambulance Service. The Chief Executive Officer of the service, Professor Ahmed Nuhu Zakaria, commended Asantehene for allocating the land at Nkenkensu in the Ofinso North District for the establishment of the paramedic school. The Asantehene Otumfuo Osei Tutu expressed concerns about recent dishonorable acts by and against the ambulance service, such as armed attacks and the wrong use of the vehicles, as reported in the media recently.
Maybe you may look at the maintenance system where you can contract your vehicles to the registered maintenance agency that could do that for you, so that you don't this unfortunate incident of a mechanic using your vehicle as a cement towing car would not happen. All the same, that was a minor issue, but the main concern is armed robbers attacking ambulancemen, which to me is a bit disservice to your establishment.
On his part, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Ambulance Service, Professor Ahmed Nuhu Zakaria, gave assurance that management of the service will seriously consider the advice of the Asantehene.
The objective is to go around and ensure that the ambulances are working very well, because his region has become a case study for all of Africa, because as far as emergency medical services are concerned, the most organized one is in the Ashanti region. And so here we are trying to ensure that whatever we have started is done very well.
The monitoring team has already toured the Upper East, Upper West, Northeast, Savannah, Northern, Oti, and Volta regions.
Let's now go back to our earlier story where Member of Parliament for Asante Central and Chairman of the Joint Committee on Interior and Defense, Kennedy Agyapong, rating Ghana's security 9 out of 10, saying Ghana is secure. Now, he's adding that the NDC has no legitimacy to went back on a demonstration on insecurity in Ghana. We've now been joined on phone by international relations expert and security analyst Adib Sani to tell us more what he makes of this. Good afternoon. So, what is your assessment on security in the country?
Well, let me categorically state that it is not safe to say we are in a state of insecurity, but it is safe to say we are in a state of a state of insecurity. Because look, in defining security, it is not just safety from harm, but the fear of harm. So even if all is, blissful, and people still fear for their safety, people fear that at any time someone can attack them and rob them, you are literally in a state of a sense of insecurity. A state of insecurity means a total breakdown of law and order. That is a complete lawlessness. And I'm not sure we have gotten there, and I pray we never get there, because we wouldn't have even been able to hold this interview. That notwithstanding, we cannot afford to be complacent, because for some few years now, insecurity is growing. The crime rate is growing, particularly violent crime, based on empirical facts, not hearsay or not, personal, concoctions of any sort. Aside that, the rate of murder is growing, and for some years it's been well over 500 annually. And for the first half of this year, there's been about a 30% spike against last year. All right. Now, criminals have become so emboldened, they just don't come after you and I, but they go after the most difficult of targets: police stations, police personnel, all daylight robberies, even opposite the police headquarters. That should tell us something. We really need to be careful.
All right, but you mentioned that when we say insecurity, then it means there is total breakdown of law and order, which isn't the case now. So, do you agree with the Asin MP that Ghana, or the security issues in Ghana, is at 9% out of 10?
Is that what, 9?
Yes.
9 out of 10. Well, when politicians talk like that, I don't blame them. For them, it's 9 out of 10, because they have 24 hours security protection. But for the masses, I'm sure even if we give it 5 out of 10, we've been charitable to the security managers.
All right. And with the recent clashes between military personnel and civilians, what are the adoptable recommendations to curb these happenings?
We need to address the fundamental issues, improve crime and investigation. We need to include the people in the security management process. It's just not the exclusive work of the men and women in uniform. We need to improve intelligence. We need to improve border security. We need to invest in those socio-economic, things, such as people having access to water, access to food, financial independence, healthcare, protection of the environment, the respect for the rights and freedoms of the people. By so doing, we'll be concentrating security at the human level, and by developing the human being, it all harnesses international security. That is why we used to have a human security department at the National Security Secretariat in the past, headed by, I think, General Retired Ndume. So unfortunately, that department is almost defunct, and we don't seem to really pay attention. But thankfully, we have a national security strategy now that mentions the issue of human security, and I hope it doesn't just end on paper. In the implementation process, we should be able to give a lot of credence to it. You see, these insecurity issues at Ashama, Taswa, Zungus and all that, most of it has to do with those socioeconomic deficits in our society that we don't really seem to pay attention to.
And what do you make of the yet to be adopted Emile Short Commission's report?
Which commission?
Emile Short Commission's report.
No, I'm sorry to say, okay, the Emile Short Commission was a complete waste of time and energy. Trust me, it's quite obvious there's no commitment whatsoever into dealing with the issues raised. They were legitimate issues raised by persons with, high pedigree and credentials, persons who have distinguished themselves in their area of specialty. And for, an attempt to be made to whitewash those dark truths about the security of the state is something that I find hard to comprehend. So I think that from day one, there's no commitment whatsoever. Unfortunately, it's been tossed into the bin.
Now, let me ask you a question on this. You just said that it's a disappointment that the Marshall Commission's report is not being used. But earlier, on the Information Minister, Kojo Nkrumah, also debunked claims that government is overlooking the Commission's report and recommendations. Do you think government is delaying with its adoption?
Okay, let me tell you. One, there is now an anti-vigilantism and related offences law, right? Ask yourself, how many people has the law? None. Secondly, those persons specially mentioned for their reckless behavior, so far as I was one of this concern, have actually been promoted. We didn't get rid of them. We maintained them and actually promoted them. Where is the reason? And we are talking about vigilante groups. They are still there. For anyone to think that these guys have been disbanded, then the person, I'm sure, is living in space, not in Ghana. And so many other ones. Prosecution, make sure we enforce the law. None of it has been executed. So what are we talking about? Let's be true to ourselves. The thing is, and the Short Commission was a complete, safe to say, wild goose chase, because nothing tentative came out of it.
All right. What security? When those who have been accused, the security personnel, if found culpable, what could be done to them? What kind of punishment could be given to them?
Which incident specifically?
Can you hear me?
Which incident?
The Ejura killings.
Good. There's a need for accountability. When there's no accountability, it has two major repercussions. One, it motivates more of these officers to think that uniform gives them some form of invincibility. It gives them immunity against prosecution. So they'll keep on doing the wrong thing. Secondly, it creates a discord or a disjoint between the civilian population and the security services, and that could make it extremely difficult for the security agencies to execute their mandates to the letter. So I think it is imperative we look closely into that cycle of impunity that we have allowed to perpetrate and to continue for far too long. That is really making it difficult for us to handle or grasp some of these situations. The people deserve some closure. The families of those persons who have been affected deserve some closure. Proper, impartial, non-political, progressive investigations would have to be done. So in the end, whoever is found culpable should be put oblivion of whether you are a politician, a security agent, or
Adib. Adib.
Yes.
Kindly speak up. I can't hear you.
Okay. So, like I said, the proper investigations should be carried out, and whoever is found to be culpable should be dealt with according to the law. As simple as that. It's not too much to ask for, is it?
All right. Thank you, Adib Sani, for your time that's here on Newsbeat. And so Adib Sani is an international relations expert and also a security analyst. We are still going to try and connect with our regional correspondent from the Ashanti region, Abdul Basit Suleiman, to tell us more on the day two of the Committee of Inquiry sitting on the probe into the Ejura killings. You're still watching Newsbeat live on Metro TV. We'll be back from the break with more.
The search for a reliable partner in dealing with your U-turn bus needs has been made easier and convenient with SA Automobile. SA Automobile, formerly U-turn Ghana Limited, has been in the business of offering quality U-turn products and services at competitive rates. At SA Automobile, our team of expert staff, management, engineers, and mechanics professionally deal in the sale of U-turn buses, genuine spare parts, its repairs and maintenance at our highly effective workshop with remarkable speed. We also have available the sale of Camel car batteries, Weichai and Kia spare parts, Zonton coaches and light duty vehicles for everyday movement. Contact us on 020-000-0831 or 054-555-7500. You can also email us info@saautomobilegh.com or visit our website at www.saautomobilegh.com. SA Automobile, the pleasure of doing business with you is all ours.
Bringing you Africa's creme de la creme's classiest hangouts, award shows, end-of-year parties, wedding, graduations, birthdays, fashion or corporate events. Metro Social has got you covered. We present Pizzazz with Je ne sais quoi. Give us a call and we will be there.
Whilst at that, join us on Metro Social every Friday at 9:30 p.m. and a repeat on Saturdays and Sundays at 8:30 p.m. on Metro TV.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Welcome back, and you're still watching this bit live on Metro TV. So it's still day 2 of the Committee of Inquiry sitting on the probing to the Ejura killing. We've now been joined on phone by Ashanti regional correspondent Abdul Basir Suleiman to give us an update on what is happening there. Abdul, good afternoon. What can you report?
Good afternoon, right. You know, today is the second day of the sitting of the 3-member committee tasked by the Interior Minister to probe the killings of the Ejura shooting. Appearing today before the committee was the General Officer commanding the Central Command in the person of Brigadier Joseph Afo. He appeared before the committee this morning, and a lot of questions were posed to him. According to him, the military even exercise a minimum force to control the crowd because they are always called in when the task is hard for the police. So when they, according to him, the military are not using tear gas and rubber bullets. So the moment they come in to disperse crowd, all that they are able to do is to fire live bullets. But they first have to give verbal warning to the protesters. When they refuse, they fire warning shots severally. If they refuse before they fire, if they realize that the going is very tough for them, then they fire the live bullets to, as it were, to disperse the crowd. And he was asked of one military personnel who was knelt down aiming at the crowd. But according to him, that personnel, even though was kneeling, but there is no shot that came from the direction that he was kneeling. And the officer also commanding the 4th Infantry Battalion also appeared before the committee in the person of Lieutenant Colonel Kwesi Warepepra, who deployed the military to the Ejura to go and ensure that there is peace and order. According to the one member of the committee, they were not supposed to use live bullets in dispersing crowd, but he argued that normally when they are on the scene like this, their aim was not to shoot and kill, but to shoot and maim the protester or the victim. And he was asked, if that is your intention, why didn't you go with an ambulance? So when you maim the person, you picked him in the ambulance to the hospital. He couldn't give a reasonable answer to that. And as I'm speaking with you right now, the Deputy Ashanti Regional Commander has also appeared before the committee, and he is also testifying their actions at Jura. After him, one of media personnel who was also at the ground has also been invited to testify today.
All right, Basit, thank you for the report. You give us more on this on a subsequent news bulletin, and that was a feed from the Ashanti region, where the day 2 of the Committee on Inquiry sitting is currently ongoing on at the Ajira matter. And now it's time for business, and Kenneth Justice here with the latest.
Well, thank you very much, Bright. Business is next. Stay with us. In our first business story, lack of storage facilities for crops and food, lack of veterinary staff and labs, delay in supply of fertilizers, and insufficient staff are amongst the myriad of challenges facing the agricultural activity in the Ahafo region. Now, the Ahafo Regional Director of Agriculture, Kingsford Nyame, has therefore called on the Ministry for Food and Agriculture to come to their aid. He made the call when the sector minister paid a working visit to the region.
The Minister for Food and Agriculture, Dr. Efria Kutu, and his entourage are on a 6-day tour to 5 regions in Ghana to ascertain the progress of work under the Planting for Food and Job initiative by government. Upon the team's arrival at the Ahafo region, the Regional Director of Agriculture, Kingsford Nyame, briefed the ministry on the many challenges the region is faced with in the agriculture sector.
Inadequate veterinary staff. As you notice, you have only 1 veterinary doctor in the region, and then a few veterinary AEs, and they are not sufficient at all. If you can get more veterinary staff, I think it will help. Then, lack of irrigation facilities. With the planting of food and jobs, it's a very good program. Whenever it rains, we produce a lot. But when we are affected by rains, then it's a problem. So if you can start some maybe small irrigation facility schemes and things like that, it will help.
He called on the ministry to come to their aid.
We think that the district directors or some people from the regional department should be, should be set up on the GiftMate platform so that, and then apart from setting them up, I think they also have to be trained so that they can also use the system, such that whenever money is available, is released, they can also know and then assess, on time.
The sector minister, Dr. Efria Kutu, on his part, said government is seeking to focus heavily on mechanized farming. He assured them of government's commitment to improve farming in the country under the Planting for Food and Jobs program.
The tree crops, now we have the Tree Crop Development Authority, which is just about to start its work. Is taking cue from the previous year's arrangement where we had the district DCEs being responsible for the distribution of seedlings to farmers. We have chosen 6 crops, and rubber, oil palm, coconut, coffee, shea, and cashew.
Now, the Scrap Dealers Association of Ghana say they are rejecting the 10-acre land provided by the Regional Minister Henry Quartey after relocating them from Agbogbloshie. According to them, the earlier 2-acre land at Kofi Kwei near Ajenkotoku, which was later doubled to 10 acres, will not accommodate them, looking at their number. Now, in an exclusive interview with Metro News, the Deputy General Secretary of the Association, Salifu Salim, said plans are far advanced to acquire a 50-acre land by themselves, hence the rejection. Elvis Andor has the rest of the story.
The Deputy Secretary of the Scrap Dealers Association of Ghana, in an interview with Metro News, hinted the association's plans to acquire their own land.
Where they have shown us, we have observed the place, and the place is too small for us. Initially, he gave us 2 acres of land. We said it's small. Then he came again and then gave us 10, of which is still small. So because of that, we are going to come out with ourselves, put our things together, our resources together, to see where we can relocate ourselves.
He further said their decision was as a result of the failed attempt to negotiate with the regional minister, Henry Quartey, to increase the 10 acres of land allocated to them at Kofikwe.
So we plan that we will meet him today, 11 o'clock, so that we will tell him gently what we have seen on that land, and then we will propose to him our plan B. He agreed. Only yesterday night, they called us and told us they can meet us. You understand? So we see that he is not willing to work with us. So because of that, we are going to come out with ourselves, put our things together, our resources together, to see where we can relocate ourselves.
He added the scrap dealers will welcome support from the regional minister if he deems it fit to do so.
We are not in fight with the minister. We don't have any problem with the minister. It's only the location and the size that we are against. If we can get us where we like the place, if he can even pay half, we'll also take half. But he can take all, it is welcome.
The relocation of the scrap dealers forms part of the hashtag Make Accra Work agenda by the regional minister Henry Quartey to decongest the capital and remove unauthorized structures to help keep Accra.
Let's now take a look at how the city is performing against other major trading currencies and also the prices of some commodities on the world market. And that's it for business. I'm Kenneth Jesse. After the break, Phil John Corte will be joining us with the latest in sports. Stay with us.
In Ghana and in Africa, there is only one place to look to get that luxurious design and decor for your offices and homes. Visit Jamila Home. We give you the climax of luxury wherever you find yourself. Presidential and executive office furniture, living room sets, dining set, stunning mirrors, adorable wallpapers, lovely king and queen size beds, valuable antiques and antique goods, beautiful chandeliers and more. Into the bargain, we provide caring customer service, prompt delivery service, skilled and artistic full house design and decor services, and free decor ideas for your space. Our products and service is unparalleled, boasting of top-tier clients all over the globe. Jamila Home, home of first-class quality furniture, beautiful chandeliers, and antiques.
Did you know that cloth handkerchief gets dirty and wet after wiping your sweat or blowing your nose with it? Keeping a dirty handkerchief in your pocket or bag is very unhygienic. Reusing it increases your chances of getting sick from germs. That is why I always use Flora disposable handkerchiefs. Flora disposable handkerchiefs is disposable, thus making it a more hygienic option. It's thick and very absorbent. With 10 tissues in a pack, Flora disposable handkerchief is better than a cloth handkerchief. The Flora toilet roll, Flora multi-purpose paper towels, Flora table napkins, and Flora box tissues in a shop near you. For both purchases, call Delta Paper Mail on 0243 033 033.
Up next, we will bring you the latest in terms of sports.
My name is Phil John Okote. Let's start with Ghana. Premier League newly appointed coach of Premier League side Legon City, Masue Kunedu, has indicated that his focus for now is to ensure the team qualify for the next stage of the FA Cup and later help the survivor in the Ghana Premier League.
We don't want to change a lot because the time is very short. There's very, very little you can do to, change everything in a very short time. So we only, spoke to them, told them how the tempo is going to be and how they will be, sliding from one end to the other, But we had a very good ball orientation and all that, so I think they are ready to deliver. You can see in their eyes. Where this club is coming from, I also feel part of it, and that's why it's not too new to me, and we only have to make sure that the boys are doing the right thing at the right places on the pitch. Sometimes they forget themselves, but we have reminded them over and over and over again. For now, I don't talk to them about the league because we have the FA Cup at hand. Yeah, when we are done with that, then we talk about the league. Like you rightly.
From the Ghanaian capital, let's go to the English capital, that is London, and focus on tennis. Australian and world #1 Ashley Barty has qualified for the semi-finals where she'll be playing against German Angelique Kerber.
This is my dream. I'm in an extremely fortunate position that I'm getting to do what I love.
Where she will play against Angelique Kerber of Germany tomorrow. That's it for sports. My name is Phil John Okote. Harriet is standing by for Showbiz. Harriet.
Thank you, Johnny. Well, it's time for entertainment news on Newsbeat. There's more after this. Popular Ghanaian music producer Pietus has expressed his dissatisfaction about the current crops of songs produced in the country. He believes music production has become easier lately, thus anyone can call himself a music producer without doing it in a professional way. He had this conversation with me yesterday on Playlist.
Who used to go to professionals do my work for me, but now you have people say, oh, I've got a laptop, some 2 speakers and the headphone, some softwares. Charlie, I can produce and do it and put it out there. And we have most of that now, because everybody says, I have a studio in my house. So, unlike what is happening outside Ghana, where people have home studios, but when the work is done, they give it to a professional to finalize it and make sure they are putting the best out there. Now it's like, oh, let me just do my thing, I'm trying to
Do you think it has brought down the quality of music we make?
Because if that is what is happening and you don't properly know the job, it will affect the quality. So there are just a few professionals who are putting Chan music out there, and then the rest is Charlie, the TDBO. We used to call those songs demos, but now they have become the master and they are putting it out there.
And the 2021 Cannes Film Festival is underway in France after its cancellation yesterday due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Now the 74th edition of the largest film gathering kicked off yesterday with an official call for the 2021 competition jury headed by American film director and producer Spike Lee. This is where I bring an end to entertainment news on Newsbeat. My name is Harriet Taddy. Up next is international news with Bright Amanin.
And on another international front, Haiti President Jovenel Moise is reported killed in his house last night by unknown gunmen. Prime Minister Dr. Claude Joseph said on Wednesday in a communique that the First Lady had also been wounded and was being treated. That's it for the news here this afternoon. On this beat, I am Bryce Nanakwesi. I'm in a live from through here at Rage in Accra. Have a good afternoon.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.